Oh, it's Tab on TV, Tab on ET, Tab writing books, and you getting hooked.
That gets a standing ovation, truly, a standing ovation.
Welcome to Very Good Mondays. I am your host, Tabitha Brown. I can do that if I want to because that's my business.
My life is changing right before my eyes. Good God, this thing is good.
I kind of just want to start by you telling me a little bit about who you are, your life, where you're from, and what the early phases of Tabitha Brown looked like.
I'm from a little town called Eden, North Carolina. It's a small city, little, country girl, honey, at heart. And I have always wanted to perform ever since I was a little girl. We used to watch the Cosby Show when I was a kid, and I used to tell my mom, I want to be Rudy's friend that ring the doorbell next and come inside and play and then come home. I didn't know I was trying to say I want to be an actor, right? I got into theater really early in school. I loved like music class. I loved to dance. I loved to, sing and have fun and do theater. And then in high school, I was very much so, and still am, a hippie. And so I had used to make my own clothes. I would thrift all the time and then redesign stuff. And it was just a thing that I enjoyed. And so when it was time for me to go to college, I remember my mom said, I know that you want to, be an actor, but it's so hard. Yes. But you also are really good at, making clothes. Why don't you study fashion design so you have something to fall back on? And I ended up going to school in Miami, International Fine Arts College, to study fashion design. And I was there for a couple months, and I remember thinking, like, I don't know, I still think I should be acting, right?
You still have the bug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had that bug inside of me, and I woke up in the middle of the night, a Wednesday night. I remember like yesterday. It was like 1 a.m. And I called my daddy, and I said, Daddy, you need to come get me. I'm wasting your money. I said, I'm supposed to be an actress. I can't do this right now. My daddy did not hesitate. He said, well, you know what? I get off work at the mill on Friday. I get on the road. I'll be there by Saturday morning to pick you up because it's a 14-hour drive.
And I have chills.
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah. Oh, I had the best dad in the world. And my mom had a friend that, who lived in California, who had told me like maybe a couple of years ago, if you ever want to move to California, you could always come and, rent a room from me. And so that's what I decided to do. Within a week's time, I said, I'm just going to go to California and I'm just going to make it, right?
No plan,
girl. No plan. I'm just going out here to Hollywood and I'm going to make it. I'm 19 years old and free, okay?
How much money in your pocket?
Listen, I probably had $1,200. I get to California. The one thing the lady didn't tell me was, that she was crazy. She was taking all my money, right? She wasn't really trying to help me. And I wasn't in Hollywood, girl. I was down in the south of Orange County in Laguna Niguel. It was beautiful, but I was nowhere near Hollywood, right?
Too far from the auditions, yes.
Too far. And now I'm working 2 jobs just to afford to pay her. And I didn't want to tell my family, and my husband was my boyfriend at the time. And I didn't want to tell him how bad it was because we had a plan that I'll be out here for a couple months, then you come out and then we'll get our own place, right, in LA. So I didn't want to tell him that, I'm not even able to save any money. She's pretty much taking everything I got. And so when he moved out a couple months later, he was like, this is insane. You're not doing any acting. You're working 2 jobs. He said we should move back to North Carolina, save up for 1 year, then move to Los Angeles so you can really pursue your dream. And so we ended up moving back to Greensboro, North Carolina, because we didn't want to go back home. So we chose the biggest city closest to home. Yes. And that was Greensboro. And then the 1 year plan turned into 5 years, a baby, marriage, house, cars, jobs, and all these new responsibilities. Yeah. But most important, a forgotten dream. I really tried to forget about it. I just convinced myself that, I missed out on my opportunity. I have a baby now. I got all these new responsibilities. I'm just going to have to settle for working a regular job and, being, a traditional person. Not that anything is wrong with that, but I had just became content and got on my knees and I started to pray and I said, God, if this is you speaking to me, I need you to show me a sign today, because if not, I'm gonna go ahead and turn myself into the crazy house. And so later that day, we were on our way to the mall, and on the radio station, a DJ named Buster Brown came on and said, hey guys, I just got a new TV show on the WB network and I'm holding auditions looking for a female co-host. I was like, oh my God, this is my sign. This is what I asked the Lord to show me, right? And so I ended up going to that audition, and there was tons of girls there, but I ended up booking that job. I would drive 3 hours to Wilmington, North Carolina, just to do extra work so I would know what it felt like to be on a real TV set. And that show was One Tree Hill. And I was just thinking, okay. And I did that for about a year. And I told my husband, now it's time for us to move to Los Angeles. We saved $8,000. And in 2004, and the end of October, we drove and moved to Los Angeles. And then no sooner than we got here, just a couple months later, my mom got sick back in North Carolina. And she was diagnosed with ALS. And my whole world stopped. And I thought, you only get one mom. And so I went back home for the next 3 years, off and on, to help care for my mother and be with her until she passed away. Mm-hmm. And so after my mom passed away, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I gotta do whatever I could do to make this thing happen. And this was 2007, and I just came right back into LA and just jumped into doing. That's when Blockbuster was playing. I did a bunch of back-to-back like little indie feature films that went straight to Blockbuster that I hope died with Blockbuster, but whatever.
No, things that you were in back in the day are now like treasured artifacts. Right. And you know your fans are probably looking on YouTube trying to find everything. I want to kind of fast forward a little bit to 2017. A sandwich changes your life. You make a video about it.
If you got a Whole Foods by you, go to their deli. Ask for this TTLA. Add a pickle. And watch your life change. Honey, I'm looking around and stuff look different. That's how good it is.
I mean, what do you make of that?
You know what's so crazy? I had never wanted to do videos anyway, right? I never wanted to do anything with food.
Why?
I had this dream because I was sick. I was sick for a year and a half. And I wasn't able to audition anymore. I wasn't able to really, do my acting. I was depressed. I had anxiety. And I thought, okay, God revealed that to me. What is that? And in my prayer, I heard him say, start doing videos. And I didn't want to do it, but I had also made a promise to God if he had healed me, that I would do whatever he asked. And so I would, start doing these videos, and nobody was watching. Just a couple hundred views I would get. And so, but I was consistent. I had been on disability for over a year, so I was broke. My savings was gone. And I started driving Uber October of 2017. And then December 30th of 2017, I dropped somebody off by Whole Foods that morning. And I thought, Whole Foods always got a good vegan option. I'm still a new vegan a couple months in. I'm gonna go ahead and get some breakfast. Mm-hmm. And it was a sandwich called a TLTA. It was like a BLT, but with vegan bacon. And so I did a video to tell people I found this new sandwich. I posted it on Facebook, went back to driving Uber. I didn't think nothing of it. I get home and, go to my Facebook and turn my notifications on. My phone was buzzing like a Amber Alert or something, girl. I was like, what in the world? The video had over 50,000 views. And I was like, who is watching this video? And the next morning had over 100,000 views. And I told my husband, I think I'm going viral. He was like, what does that mean? I was like, I don't know. He was like, well, are you going to make any money? I was like, I don't know.
I hope so. Yeah.
Right. And then within 4 days, Whole Foods reached out and said, oh my God, we saw your video. We'd love to work with you.
Well, how about we make some French toast with raisin bread? Our way. Didn't make us feel like maybe we in France or just in another room in the house.
I think I did my first cooking video on March 8th or March 9th. And it took off pretty quick. In our first month, I had 1 million followers. A week after, I had 2 million. And then the next month, I had 3 million. And today is 4 months I've been on TikTok, and I got 4 million followers. It is crazy, honey. Every day I wake up.
Embrace it, baby. You are simply beautiful. All of you.
The day that I saw Ellen's digital network announcing Tabitha Brown is getting her own talk show, I screamed a little bit with excitement because I think you're born to do it. What do you know about it? Are you already having development meetings? Is there a title? Tell me everything.
The show is called All Love with Tabitha Brown. And I'm doing everything, motherhood, parenting, and food, family, fun, conversation, highlights of the week, just different things that are all positive energy and just a good time. I'm excited to, start that right here in my home, starting in August, and then hopefully it'll be out in September.
Have you had a chance to Zoom with Ellen? Have you guys had personal conversations?
No, not yet, honey. Ellen called me, girl, but no, not yet. Crazy enough, I worked on the Ellen show. It was a sketch comedy for a little sketch for Amazon, for the Amazon Alexa. And so I had worked with her team before, and amazing people. Love them. So I'm so excited that it came back around in the way that it did.
Look how you manifested that, like to the 10th degree.
Right.
Is there a dream guest? I mean, are you contacting celebrities or influencers, people that you're just like, I gotta get you on my show?
I would love to do something with Michelle Obama. I love her. Michelle, girl, where you at, girl?
I feel like you guys are truly the two queens of my universe. Actually, add Oprah. There's the trifecta right there.
I love Oprah as well. I love Oprah. It's amazing to me. And like, even, you know, to be even in this space and can fathom it all, right? And that it's coming to fruition, honey, anybody that I am blessed to be in the presence of, it's just such a gift.
Kind of with that, I do know that at your core, you're an actress, you're an entertainer. And I'm hoping that you'll share the story of how you went from working at the Century City Mall to being represented by the massive agency that's across the street. How did you make that happen?
Oh, wow. It's crazy. You know, when I first came to LA, I worked at Macy's in Century City for years. And I would go on my lunch break sometime and, you know, walk the block. And I would always see CAA and say, oh, God, one day, Lord. I just kind of point to it with my hands like, one day I'm going to be there. And after being on TikTok and getting even more exposure, they reached out. And so I would always say that one day they'll come looking for me. I ain't going to have to go looking for them. They're going to find me. I would always say that. And I guess I spoke it into existence.
You know, being with CAA and them being behind you, believing in you, seeing your talent, I'm sure the opportunities, the floodgates, I'm sure have been opened. But I want to know a little bit about your experience as an actress trying to make it. Did you experience the rejection? Did you experience racism? Did you experience discrimination?
Oh my God, honey, absolutely. All of that, right? I've been pursuing acting for 22 years and so many different things came about. You know, there was a time where I wasn't free because I was told for so long, no, you can't wear your natural hair. You need to wear it straight. Cover your accent because nobody wants to hear, you know, a Southern accent. Sometimes, especially with Black people, it sounds ignorant. I've heard agents tell me that, right? You know, trying to be a certain size, literally starving myself for years to try to always be a certain look. That's not being free. That's me trying to fit into what I think Hollywood wants. And I wasn't free, but honey, I'm free now. But so many no's, rejection after rejection after rejection. Sometimes, you know, the crazy thing is you'll go into an audition, right? And then you'll see the project and the person looks absolutely nothing like you, or they're not even Black. And it's like, well, why did you even call me in?
What kept you going?
The thing that lives inside, right? The voice that I hear. I know there's a plan on my life. And that has always kept me going. I know that something is coming. I don't know what it is, but I know something is coming despite everything that I've been through.
You've been patient. You've put in the hard work. Everyone is recognizing you for the talented, incredible woman that you are. Is there a project in development? Is there something brewing that you can share with us?
Well, it is kind of exclusive. I mean, I've told people that, you know, I've always wanted to be America's mom, right?
Yes.
And I have always said if I had a TV show, it would be I'm Claire Huxtable meets Roseanne right in the middle. That would be my show, right? And so I'm actually in development for that show right now. And I signed on with Max Muchnick, who's the creator of Will and Grace. He's my showrunner. And so nobody really knows that yet.
You were on Will and Grace. So this is another full circle moment.
Hey, Joe, we can wrap it up here. Oh, God bless you. Yeah. See, there's no crime here. This one took a brutal dump in the jar. The rest of this damage is just part of her cover-up.
It's a sitcom. It's based on my life, of course, exaggerated, but as a wife and as a mother, but a woman who's trying to balance her family while not losing herself in the process. So, you know, there got to be a comedy, girl, because if not, we all be crying every week, okay?
It's Very Good Mondays, and I started off with my glasses because that's my business.
I would love to ask about your family. What does your husband and your kids, what do they think of this superstardom that has changed your life?
You know what? They're so supportive. They, you know, we're in quarantine, so it doesn't really feel that different, right? It It just feels like I'm working more on my computer. I'm doing more videos, but because we're in quarantine, we don't feel it yet. It's like I'm still mom, I'm still wife, right? And they are my foundation, right? So they will always come before any of this stuff. But they loved it. They're excited for me. I'm excited for them because I always try to include my family from the very beginning. It was important to me, if I'm gonna go on this journey, that my family comes with me, because we're not sold separately, okay?
Of course, people have fallen in love with your entire family, and we're all just waiting for the day that you'll hopefully say yes to a reality show. Is that a conversation you're having?
Yes, absolutely. That's another exclusive. We're in pitch meetings right now for networks, so we'll see where we land.
There anything off limits? Because, you know, reality TV can get dicey and they want to talk about this and they want to talk about that. What limits or boundaries are you going to set there?
You know what? There will be no drama, nothing crazy. I want to show the world a positive, strong Black family. It is important in our community, right? And it's important for everybody right now to see Black people as we are, who we are, right? And be relatable to everyone in the world. And that is my mission with sharing my family.
You're a unit, and I think that's what makes you a really powerful group. And, you know, I would be remiss to not ask you this. We're in the middle of a civil rights movement right now. And I know you and your husband are super transparent and very open with your kids, but I am curious what kinds of conversations you have with your children about being Black in America and about how you combat racism.
Absolutely. The unfortunate thing is that even though he's 8, we've already had to start having uncomfortable conversations with him. And we just tell him, unfortunately, there is people in the world, there are good people and there are bad people. And unfortunately, because you are a little Black boy with beautiful brown skin, some people just may not like you. And that's not your problem, that's their problem, right? And I always tell them every day, you are amazing, you are enough, and don't ever let the world tell you anything different. And he's powerful. He is supposed to be here. He belongs in this world. He's worthy of everything that God gives him. And, you know, he's special no matter what. And the same with my daughter. She's 18 now, about to be 19, but she went through a really rough time with us here living in the Valley in California, getting bullied because of her skin being dark. And she was one of the only Black kids in her class. So it took a toll on her for a very long time. So I'm so thankful now that she has become so confident in embracing her beauty as it is. It's a hard task, but not too hard, right? We have to do it. We have to educate our kids. We have to empower them, let them know they're enough every single day.